Yes?
Let's continue.
As you wish. Yes?
Are you certain Corypheus is using the power of the Blight to make himself immortal?
Perhaps you forget. I was in Ferelden during the Fifth Blight. I have seen a true archdemon rage. How Corypheus gained the power to send his soul into blighted bodies, that is the real question.
Well, answering that question, let us destroy Corypheus for good.
Perhaps. I would suggest first dealing with the well. If Corypheus obtains it, any chance of success could be lost.
You said this Mythal was worshipped as a goddess?
So one assumes. What is a god but a being of immense power? The dread old gods were nothing more than dragons, after all. They rise as archdemons, and they die. Perhaps Mythal was a powerful elf, a ruler among her kind. History often plays storyteller with facts.
You admit lack of knowledge, and yet dismiss her so readily?
I do not dismiss her. I question her supposed divinity. One need not be a god to have value. Truthfully, I'm uncertain Mythal was even a single entity. The accounts are varied.
There are varied accounts of Mythal?
In most stories, Mythal rights wrongs while exercising motherly kindness. Let fly your voice to Mythal, deliverer of justice, protector of sun and earth alike. Other paint her as dark, vengeful. Pray to Mythal and she would smite your enemies, leaving them in agony.
More Dalish tales, I assume.
If you know more about this Solus, speak.
The oldest accounts say Mythal was both of these, and neither. She was the mother, protective and fierce. That is all I will say. This is not a place to stir up old stories.
Whatever the truth, all accounts of Mythal end the same. Exiled to the beyond with her brethren.
What do you mean, exiled?
Tricked by the dread wolf, as all the elven gods were said to be, trapped in a land beyond the Fade. Many Dalish believe this is why the elves fell from grace, and their gods did not save them. Or perhaps they were simply rulers slain by Tevinter. Who can say?
You've seen the elves here. They seem odd.
Indeed. Two things are possible. One, this is a group of Dalish separated from their brethren, cultists, fanatic in their desire to keep humans away. Two, these are elves descended from the ancients, having resided here since before the fall of Alathan. The second appears unlikely, but if true, the implications are astounding.
If they keep records, it could change everything we thought we knew about history.
'Tis thrilling, no? To discover an era thought lost forever has possibly thrived in the shadows. We may, however, find these elves reluctant to part with their long-kept secrets.
Do you know what this part of the temple was used for?
The room we stand in is a vestibule, not the temple proper. To those who knew it, perhaps this ritual was little more than a polite knock at the gate. These customs must have been as familiar to ancient elves as bowing to a queen is to you or I.
I find it difficult to picture you curtsying to anyone.
Have we become so familiar you can predict my manners and customs now? Nothing is lost by indulging in the occasional civilized conduct, particularly when unexpected.
Let's continue.
As you wish. It appears the temple's magics are still strong.
Is this Elven? Does it say anything about this Well of Sorrows?
Atishol vir Abalasan. It means enter the path of the Well of Sorrows.
There is something about knowledge, respectful or pure. Shivenen. 'Tis all I can translate. That it mentions the well is a good omen.
At least we know the Well of Sorrows was important.
Supplicants to Mythal would have first paid obeisance here. Following their path may aid entry.
Perform a ritual to appease elven gods? Long dead or no, I don't like it.
If need be, unless you wish to turn back.
There.
Well done. Let us see what awaits. I see the Red Templars have already encountered the temple's guardians. Why would this be here?
Something wrong?
It depicts the dread wolf, Fen Harel. In elven tales, he tricks their gods into sealing themselves away in the beyond for all time. Setting Fen Harel in Mythal's greatest sanctum is as blasphemous as painting Andraste naked in the chantry.
Some chantries display statues of Andraste's betrayer Mafarath as part of the chant.
It might fulfill a similar function, a reminder of vigilance for the faithful.
For all your knowledge, Lady Morrigan, you cannot resist giving legend the weight of history. The wise do not mistake one for the other.
Pray tell, what meaning does our elven expert sense lurking behind this?
None we can discern by staring at it.
You two look like you're about to kiss when you argue.
'Tis time we pressed forward.
Agreed.
The Temple of Mythal, constructed in an age when elves, not men, dominated this land. They believed Mythal a goddess of justice. Elves came here to request judgment, after they proved their worth.
Silence has reigned here for time beyond memory.
Hold them off!
Come on, we might catch them.
Hold a moment. While they rush ahead, this leads to our true destination. We should walk the petitioner's path as before.
An army fights and dies for us. The longer we tarry, the more soldiers we lose outside. Let's jump down and be done with this place.
In this case, I must agree with the witch. This is ancient ground, deserving of our respect.
You see the urgency? We cannot find the Well of Sorrows unprepared.
You're very eager to reach our destination.
Are we not all eager to stop Corypheus from achieving his mad plan?
It sounds like what you want is that well.
There is a danger to the natural order. Legends walked Thedas once, things of might and wonder. Their passing has left us all the lesser. Corypheus would squander the ancient power of the well. I would have it restored.
You barely know what the Well of Sorrows is, but you want to restore it?
Yes. Is Thedas so full of wonders that we should leave them to die one by one? Mankind blunders through the world, crushing what it does not understand. Elves, dragons, magic. The list is endless. We must stem the tide, or be left with nothing more than the mundane. This I know to be true. I read more in the first chamber than I revealed. It said a great boon is given to those who use the Well of Sorrows, but at a terrible price.
What exactly did that altar say about the Well of Sorrows?
Like most elven writing, it was insufferably vague. The term I deciphered was Halam Shivanas, the sweet sacrifice of duty. It implies the loss of something personal for duty's sake, yet for those who served at this temple, a worthwhile trade.
Is your real goal the power inside this well?
Yes, if that is the only way to preserve it. My priority is your cause, but if the opportunity arises to save this well, I am willing to pay the cost.
And gain what?
That is what we must discover. The rituals may point the way. Will you abandon these rituals, Inquisitor? Think carefully. There is no return once we leap after the Templars.
What's this?
I believe we are in the presence of the elven goddess Ondrul, Lady of the Hunt.
Or a goddess of sacrifice, according to some.
Truly? I wonder if that is why Ondrul's patron animal is the hare. 'Tis said the Dalish invoke her before a chase, especially if they happen to be stalking humans.
Humans clash with elves all the time. There's blood on both sides.
I do not favor either. One hears things in an Orlesian court. Many Orlesian commanders consider skirmishes against the Dalish excellent sport.
That did something.
Indeed. Time to proceed to the next ritual, I should think. Will you abandon these rituals, Inquisitor? Think carefully. There is no return once we leap after the Templars.
The ritual is complete.
We are close. There is but one more path to follow.
Everything is lit.
So, what now?
Come, let us see if the doors have opened. Yes?
Let's continue.
As you wish. Yes?
You've seen the elves here. They seem odd.
Indeed. Two things are possible. One, this is a group of Dalish separated from their brethren, cultists, fanatic in their desire to keep humans away. Two, these are elves descended from the ancients, having resided here since before the fall of Arlathan. The second appears unlikely, but if true, the implications are astounding.
Do you know what this part of the temple was used for?
It may have served as a chamber of reflection, perhaps to contemplate the righteousness of one's cause. More importantly, I suspect none were permitted beyond this area without a priest. Ancient texts claim Mythal passed judgment in the flesh, but 'twas surely the priests who proclaimed rulings here.
Why did the ancient elves insist on so many rites?
We may safely assume one did not petition high priests for Mythal's justice by strolling up and knocking. I see no more insufferable ceremony here than in a chantry.
I want to discuss the well again.
Oh, I see. An opportunity to use the well may not even arise. I understand this. All I meant to suggest is that, if it does, I be the one to do so. I am willing to accept the consequences.
You said you want to preserve old powers. To what end? What will you do with them?
There is a struggle to control the world's future path. Can you not see it? History haunts us, Inquisitor. It seeks to resurface. Corypheus is but the first to arise. For all the evil that was, there is also good. I will fight for it. I must.
How do you know the Well of Sorrows isn't a source of evil? After all, Corypheus seeks it.
A fair point. We cannot know for certain. Yet.
How can you not care what the consequences are? Even Corypheus seems to.
I'm not a child grasping after a toy. I understand the risk of what I seek. Let us turn our attention to hunting your enemies, shall we? Discussion of the well can wait.
Who is this meant to be?
Falandine, overseer of funerals and guide to the elven dead. I have heard the Dalish invoke him on their deathbed, or before quests from which they expect no return.
People cling to whatever gives them hope when their time comes.
Perhaps that's why the Dalish sometimes refer to Falandine as the Merciful One.
I do not believe they sing songs about Falandin's vanity.
Do you know any legends?
It is said Falandin's appetite for adulation was so great, he began wars to amass more worshippers. The blood of those who wouldn't bow low filled lakes as wide as oceans. Mythal rallied the gods once the shadow of Falandin's hunger stretched across her own people. It was almost too late. Falandin only surrendered when his brethren bloodied him in his own temple.
Did ancient elves believe all their gods so terrifying?
Yes, I believe they did.
Will you abandon these rituals, Inquisitor? Think carefully. There is no return once we leap after the Templars. "'Tis not what I expected. What was this chamber used for?"
We're being watched.
Venavis, you are unlike the other invaders. You stumble down our paths at the side of one of our own. You bear the mark of magic, which is familiar. How has this come to pass? What is your connection to those who first disturbed our slumber?
I don't understand the slumber bit. Who are you?
I am called Abelas. We are sentinels, tasked with standing against those who trespass on sacred ground. We wake only to fight, to preserve this place. Our numbers diminish with each invasion. I know what you seek. Like all who have come before you, you wish to drink from the Vira Belasan.
The place of the Way of Sorrows. He speaks of the well.
It is not for you. It is not for any of you.
So, you're elves from ancient times? Before the Tevinter Imperium destroyed Arlathan?
The Shemlin did not destroy Arlathan. We Elven warred upon ourselves. By the time the doors to this sanctuary closed, our time was over. We awaken only when called, and each time find the world more foreign than before. It is meaningless. We endure. The Vira Belasan must be preserved.
What is this Vira Belasan exactly?
It is a path, one walked only by those who toiled in Mithal's favor.
He speaks of priests, perhaps.
More than that, you need not know.
Solus, perhaps he'll listen to you.
What shall I say, Inquisitor? Shall I sway him from a millennia of service by virtue of our shared blood? He clings to all that remains of his world, because he lacks the power to restore it.
We did not come here to fight you, nor to steal from your temple.
I believe you. Trespassers you are, but you have followed rites of petition. You have shown respect to Mithal. If these others are enemies of yours, we will aid you in destroying them. When this is done, you shall be permitted to depart. And never return.
This is our goal, is it not? There is no reason to fight these sentinels.
Consider carefully. You must stop Corypheus, yes, but you may also need the well for your own.
I accept your offer.
You will be guided to those you seek. As for the Vira Belasan, it shall not be despoiled, even if I must destroy it myself.
No!
Morrigan!